morning, students. We are discussing your Unit 4, that is the chapter Chemical Kinetics, and today we'll discuss rate expression or rate law and rate constant. So today's topic is rate expression or rate law and rate constant. Rate of a reaction decreases with the passage of time as the concentration of reactant decreases. Conversely, rate generally increases when reactant concentration increases. That is, the rate of a reaction decreases with the decrease in concentration of the reactant, and it is generally increased with the increase of reactant concentration. So, rate of a reaction depends upon the concentration of reactants. The representation of rate of a reaction in terms of concentration of the reactants is known as rate law. It is also called as rate equation or rate expression. Thus, rate law is the expression in which reaction rate is given in terms of molar concentration of reactants, with each term raised to some power which may or may not be same as the stoichiometric coefficient of the reacting species in a balanced chemical equation. So this is the rate law.
So consider a general reaction. So consider general reaction. A moles of A plus B moles of B gives C moles of C plus D moles of D, where A, B, C, D are the stoichiometric coefficients of reactant and product, where A, B, C and D are stoichiometric coefficient of reactant and products. Then the rate expression for this reaction, then the rate expression for this reaction rate is proportional to concentration of A to the power x, concentration of B to the power y. Rate that depends on the concentration of the reactant. So here rate that depends on the concentration of the reactant A raised some power x, and the concentration of the reactant B raised some power y, where the exponent x and y may or may not be equal to the stoichiometric coefficient A and B of reactants. Here, whatever the exponent means power x and y, that may or may not be equal to the stoichiometric coefficient of the reactants A and B. So for this reaction, this way rate is expressed. That rate, it depends on the concentration of the reactant A and concentration of the reactant B raised some power x and y. Or rate will be equal to K, a proportionality constant, K is needed, A to the power x, concentration of B to the power y. Or rate is written as, in terms of reactant, that is minus dr dt, rate that is written as minus dr dt in terms of the concentration of the reactant. That means that is minus change in reactant concentration in a time interval dt, that will be equal to K, concentration of A to the power x, concentration of B to the power y. This is known as differential equation. This is known as differential rate equation. Differential rate equation, and K is the proportionality constant called rate constant. So this is the differential rate equation for a general reaction. A moles of A plus B moles of B gives C moles of C plus D moles of D. Now we will take an example of a reaction, that is 2 moles of nitric oxide react with 1 mole of oxygen to give 2 moles of nitrogen dioxide. For this reaction we have to find out the rate law. Now you remember that rate law is determined from the experimental result analysis, not from the balanced chemical equation theoretically. It is always obtained from the experimental result. Here the experimental results are given, and from this data we can determine the rate law for this reaction. So now we will analyze the experimental result here, and how from that experimental result we can determine the rate law for this reaction, that we will see now. So these are the experiment 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the initial concentration of nitric oxide that is given, initial concentration of oxygen that is given here, and initial rate of formation of nitrogen dioxide that is given here. Now if you compare the experiment 1 and 2, you see here in the experiment 1 and 2 the concentration of oxygen that is kept constant, while the concentration of nitric oxide is double. That means while concentration of nitric oxide is double, the concentration of oxygen is kept constant, and by the time the rate increases 4 times. If you multiply 0.096 by 4, then that will be 0.384. That means if you multiply this by 4, then that will be 0.384. That means while we increase the concentration of nitric oxide here 2 times, the rate increases 4 times, keeping the concentration of oxygen constant. That means rate increases in the square of concentration of nitric oxide. Similarly, if you analyze the experiment 1 and 3, here you see the concentration of nitric oxide that is kept constant, while the concentration of oxygen it increases 2 times, 0.3 to 0.6, and in that case the rate increases 2 times. If you multiply 0.096 by 2, then it becomes 0.192. That means here the rate increases 2 times while we increase the concentration of oxygen 2 times, keeping the concentration of nitric oxide constant. That means here the rate varies linearly with the concentration of oxygen. So now mathematically how we will determine the rate law, that we will see. So rate that is expressed, rate is equal to K, concentration of here reactant nitric oxide raised some power x, concentration of oxygen raised some power y. So we have to find out here the x and y. Now if you compare the experiment 1 and 2, that means experiment 2 divided by experiment 1. If you divide the experiment 2 by 1, this implies for experiment 2 K, concentration of NO to the power x, that means that is for 2 concentration of NO, that is 0.6, that means 0.60 to the power x, and concentration of O to the power y, that means 0.30 to the power y. Similarly divided by experiment 1, that means that is K, concentration of NO, that is 0.30 to the power x, concentration of O2, that is again 0.30 to the power y, that will be equal to 0.384 divided by 0.096. So this implies here K cancel, 0.3 to the power y, 0.3 to the power y, that will be cancelled. Now here 0.6 by 0.3, that means 2 to the power x, that will be equal to 4, that means 2 to the power 2 square, or this implies x will be equal to 2. So this way we can find out the value of x. Similarly, if you compare the experiment 1 and 3, that means experiment 3 divided by experiment 1, that implies K, concentration of NO to the power x, that means 0.3 to the power x, concentration of O to the power y, that means 0.60 to the power y, divided by K, concentration of 0.30 to the power x, concentration of 0.30 to the power y, that will be equal to 3 by 1, that means that is 0.192 divided by 0.096. So this implies here K will be cancelled, 0.3 to the power x, 0.3 to the power x, that will be cancelled, and 0.6 by 0.3, that is equal to 2, so that means 2 to the power y will be equal to 0.192 divided by 0.096, that is coming out 2, that means this is 2 or 2 to the power 1, that means here y will be equal to 1. So that's the rate law. So therefore the rate that is equal to K concentration of NO to the power x, here x is equal to 2, concentration of O2, so here O to the power y, so y equal to 1. So this is the rate law for this reaction. So this way we can determine the rate law for a chemical reaction by analyzing the experimental result. You remember that rate law is obtained from the experimental result only, not from the balanced chemical equation. Now once we get the rate law, from the rate law easily you can determine the rate constant. So how, see here, that rate constant K, that will be equal to rate divided by concentration of NO square concentration of O2. So from any experiment here, if we put the value, then easily you can determine the rate constant. So if you consider the experiment 1 here, then rate, that is 0.096 mole per liter per second divided by concentration of NO square, so NO, that is 0.3 square into concentration of oxygen, that is also 0.3, so 0.3. So here the unit is mole per liter, so mole per liter square into mole per liter. So here this will be 0.096 divided by 33927, 0.027 mole per liter inverse, that is cancel out. So here this will go up, that means mole to the power -2 liter square second inverse. This will be unit, and if you divide this, then this is coming out 3.55 mole to the power -2 liter square second inverse. So this way easily you can find out the rate constant once we know the rate law. So that rate law, that is determined from the experimental analysis, and from that rate law we can easily determine the rate constant. So again, if you know the rate law, then we will get idea about the order of a reaction. So in the next class we will discuss what is the order of a reaction, what is molecularity of a reaction. So this is for today, how to determine the rate law for a particular chemical reaction from the analysis of the experimental result given. So this is for today. Thank you.